Brits, who is talking to us from Stellenbosch. David, very good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
I mean, firstly, congratulations. I mean, after a tough season that had the ups and downs for the Springbok Sevens, culminating with Los Angeles, the top 8 teams coming through, how does it feel to be crowned world champs in the Sevens?
Yeah, thank you firstly. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a up and down kind of season. I think we just struggled a little bit with consistency, and having tasted what it felt like to win a tournament early on in the season in Cape Town here, in our backyard, and then to struggle again throughout the season and then finally get this win at the end, I think that's kind of a cherry on the top. You can't ask for much more than that.
What would you say worked in Los Angeles, particularly, as we say, with the ups and downs that we've seen throughout the season, and then going to Los Angeles, going through the whole tournament unbeaten?
Yeah. I think the last time we won won a trophy, we also went unbeaten. So it's a difficult question. I think it's got a broad answer. I think everyone can now see that Sevens at the moment is really challenging. It's really competitive. Any team can beat anyone on the circuit. So I think we just kind of stuck to our own plan. And our coach, Philip, just told us to stay in the moment and to take it all in and enjoy the last tournament for what it is. And it seemed to have worked. Honestly, I can't say I haven't seen the team play better than what they did this last tournament in LA. So I think everything came together. The whole puzzle came together, and everyone understood their roles and went out and did it.
And I mean, speaking of great performances and just going unbeaten, what was it like to break that Cape Town hoodoo? Because Cape Town has always been one of those places where, even though it's home, the Springbok Sevens struggle.
Yeah, so I can't speak on previous years where they obviously competed. That was my first time playing in Cape Town on the circuit. So, yeah, I just know that the guys that had played in the tournament beforehand, they were ecstatic, and yeah, it looked like there was a big weight lifted off of everyone's shoulders. I think everyone wanted to win in front of their home crowd and kind of continue what the Springboks are doing, for the country. And that was it. We got it done and we achieved that goal. So it really worked out well.
I think, the last time you and I spoke, you had just won the Currie Cup, had just blooded into the Sevens team. The first season for you was not that good. What do you think has worked now that you've found the consistency and to be an integral part of the team, as it were?
Yeah, I think anyone coming from, I think the last time we spoke was literally my debut tournament in Perth, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And going from then to now, it's tricky, man. It's been challenging. There's been ups and downs. I think last year I was injured most of the season. I broke 2 ribs, and that's not something that happens often. So kind of with rugby, you got to take what you get. And I'd rather take 2 broken ribs than take a knee or an ankle. And that might sound a bit crazy, but that is what most rugby players will probably tell you. I think this year. And this is something I kind of live by, and it was something I was taught by the current Marty's coach, actually, Craig Barry. And he said, your best ability is availability. And it's something that it's always been in the back of my head, when sometimes it's out of your control. And I think this year I just tried to control what I could and just make sure I'm stay on the field, stay fit and healthy. So the dog. Just try to stay on the field and stay fit and healthy. And like I said, availability was my best ability.
We saw you play the Currie Cup for the Pumas last year. Are we likely going to see something similar this time around?
Yeah. There's something's going to happen. Yes. Something completely out the blue, and I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. But I think there will be some Currie Cup rugby played, yes. My love for the 15s, I always want to go back and play a little bit of 15. So we'll see what that holds. I can't really speak on that too much, but I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. I want to keep playing rugby. I think that's the most important thing. I don't want to sit for 6 months now and not play rugby.
David, talk to me about that transition, if I can call it that, where you move from the 7s to the 15s. I mean, is there any big difference from a player's perspective when you make that transition either between seasons or within seasons?
I think going back to 15s from sevens is a lot easier than what going from 15s to sevens is, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. Obviously, fitness wise, you're on another level. There's nothing in 15s that can compare to sevens. That is my honest opinion. I think anyone that plays sevens will tell you that. That's played both. So you're going to be fit, you're going to be sharp, but there's a lot of habits, obviously, that in sevens that you can't take with you to 15s. You can't be passing and following your pass, which is what you're doing. And that's a basic thing. In 15s, you're squaring up your guy and you're trying to keep him honest for as long as possible. Where, yeah, there's a lot of things that change, but I would definitely say it's easier to go back to 15s coming from sevens than coming from 15s and playing sevens.
And just finally, on a lighter note, David, how was golf on Thursday?
Golf is always good. Golf is always good. Expensive, but good.
What handicap do you play off?
I'm a nine, but yeah, on the day, I'm not much. Depends how many beers I've had, then I could lie and tell you I'm very good.
Not too shabby. David, thank you so much for coming through to speak to us this afternoon. We appreciate it. David Brits talking to us there. He's part of that winning team that won unbeaten, winning the world champs, the Sevens Rugby World Championship, unbeaten throughout the weekend tournament, but also part of the team that did very well throughout the season.